Welcome back. I'm Mike James, Smartphone Photography Training. You, more importantly, are a smartphone photo enthusiast who is passionate about photography and taking photos on your phone. You want to get more out of it with tips, tutorials, training, you're in the right place. Today I'm going to be showing you a Struman Optics macro lens. There are three lenses that the macro feature in their range. So you have the cinematic macro, which is 53 degrees, has a focus ring, which is the world first focus ring on a macro lens. Pretty amazing. That lens, what you see is 1:1 ratio, which is it's a true macro lens. You have also the cinematic wide angle lens, which has a macro feature built into it, which is pretty amazing. As a standalone wide angle, it's phenomenal, edge to edge sharpness, all that sort of thing. But you've got the versatility of being able to get a centimeter into something. This lens is a whole nother level. This is what, for me, macro photography is all about. Getting in close, getting super detailed, seeing things that the eye doesn't normally see. If you're not a creative type, like myself, I've had to work on it. I'm still not there. You can just get some amazing images, just experiment and you fumble around and you come across something and go, wow, that was really cool. How did it end up being so cool? This lens gives you, it's a lot of fun basically. Just like the rest of their lenses, they have a multi-element glass inside, aluminium casing, screw thread, so you can screw it straight into a Struman Optics case, or they have a universal clamp, and the universal clamp clamps onto your existing protective cover, or if you have an iPad or you have a phone that's not covered inside the case range, that's a great option. The only thing with the macro, and this lens in particular, I'd probably persuade you away from using the universal clamp if you have a multi-lens, multi-lens phone, because multi-lens, it might not have a flush surface because you need a flat surface to be able to clamp that on. Edge to edge sharpness, amazing. No soft edges, which is incredible for a magnifying lens. You will see there's some that are out there that are 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, but the distortion is pretty awful. Focus is, the center will be in focus, the rest of it's out of focus. For me, that's kind of very limiting because you might want to have your subject matter off to the side. Simple rule of thirds, isn't it? But if you've got a lens that really you can only get it sharp in the center, then you've got to have central composition, and it really restricts you. All right, so I have a flower here. You've seen it. Here's the flower. What I will do is I'll put a backing board there so that we can have a backdrop there. There we go. So this is not going to be a tutorial on composition or lighting because I've just blocked my light, but I wanted to show you how we can get in super close with this lens. Really cool, exciting stuff. So what I'm using on this phone is Adobe Lightroom. Now don't be intimidated by that, Adobe Lightroom, because it is an Adobe product. You don't need the subscription to use their Lightroom app. If you have the subscription, then you get access to syncing your photos on the cloud, on your other computers, and also you can use selective editing in there, so which is where you can go into a particular area on the photo. All right. The reason why I'm showing you on this one, because it has manual focus, and with manual focus there is a focus peaking. And focus peaking, basically, it shows you, illuminates in green the areas in the image that are in focus, or the phone thinks are in focus, which is really cool, and it's going to be really helpful for me to show you on here. So let's go into that now. Focus, it's on auto, so I'm going to go manual, and then look at that. We can see, as I move this around, it moves further and further in. Now this lens has 2 millimeters that's in focus, and you need to hold it 3 centimeters away. So you basically know when you're 3 centimeters away, that's what you've got to play with. Now with this focus, manual focus, it moves it back and forth, the focus, that 2 millimeters back and forth. Or we can just manually move the phone in. So with this lens, you can get right on top of it. One of the problems with macro photography, you get right on top of it, you're blocking a lot of the light, which I'm doing right now. Let's go and have a look at the leaf. Now there are other camera apps out there. Even some of the Androids have focus peaking on their Pro mode, and you can actually go in there and change the color, because green, on a green leaf, it's not really helping me, is it? Whereas some you can change it to red, you can change it to yellow, which is super helpful. So you can see here basically the tip of the leaf is in focus and then the rest of it is out of focus. That's what I love about this lens, is that the background focus is just phenomenal. The blur background, I know our phones have portrait mode, live focus. Some of them even, iPhones, you can use an app called Camera Plus and you can have a macro mode. It's really good. It's all software. Newer phones, newer Androids have a dedicated macro lens, which is, at the moment, some of them are 2 megapixel sensors. They have a separate sensor. Absolutely rubbish. Yes, you can get in close, but this is using the macro lens on your main lens, the biggest, most powerful, highest resolution lens. So you can actually print these. With the 2 megapixel macro, it's a bit of fun, but you can't print them, whereas these ones we can print. So a lot of fun. You will love it. Cinematic macro, the cinematic wide angle, and this one here, 2.8 magnification. A lot of fun. You'll love it. I love it. Any questions, reach out. If not, we will leave it there, and I'll talk to you soon.